Hey guys, it's Andy. I'm back here for another exciting installment in my Make a Mega series. If you've been watching the previous 5 or so episodes, you'll know I've been going over a list of Pokemon that are rumored to be getting Megas in the upcoming games Pokemon Let's Go Pikachu and Eevee. It's been my goal ever since that revelation to get this list done before the game drops, and it comes out in about 1 week from the day this should go up, and we're just about near the end of the list. And as I'm sure you can tell by the title and thumbnail, today I'm going to be going over the 2 original Hitmon members, Hitmonlee and Hitmonchan. So, without any further ado, let's just get started with the one that does not really need a Mega, Hitmonlee. Hitmonlee, to me, is one of the quintessential fighting types with an undeniable offensive presence, boasting a good attack stat, decent speed, and pretty good move pool. A glaring weakness is its lack of bulk, having a solid base 110 special defense, but only 50 HP, as well as a pitiful 53 physical defense. Special attack is practically non-existent at 35, but as I said, its physical attack is pretty nice at a solid 120, and its speed isn't too bad either at 87. Especially combined with the fact that one of Hitmonlee's abilities, his best ability in my opinion, is Unburden, which of course doubles Hitmonlee's speed when its item gets used. A very cool tech that I recently found out about was Curse Hitmonlee with White Herb, as this will raise your attack and defense while lowering your speed. White Herb will activate, restore your speed, and then you get the Unburden boost, so your speed is actually doubled, as well as your attack and defense getting a boost, all with 1 turn, so Unburden is definitely good on Hitmonlee. It's also got 2 other decent abilities in Limber and Reckless. Most people, I believe, prefer Reckless on Hitmonlee to just spam Reckless High Jump Kick. I'm not exactly the biggest fan of High Jump Kick Hitmonlee, only because it has access to close combat already, and the difference in power isn't really that significant. Granted, the Reckless boost on top of the power difference is pretty significant, but in general, I usually just prefer Unburden Close Combat Hitmonlee or even Limber Close Combat Hitmonlee to High Jump Kick Hitmonlee. With this Mega, however, I inadvertently made High Jump Kick the preferable stab move over Close Combat, so let me just show you what I came up with. For starters, I would give Hitmonlee 30 speed, putting it at 117, 30 attack, putting it at 150, 30 defense, putting it at 83, and 10 special defense, putting it at 120. I initially thought about primarily boosting its offenses like attack and speed, just due to how low its HP and defense stats were, but then I came up with an ability that I liked and really preferred increasing its bulk also. So the 30 additional defense, while it's still pretty insignificant, especially paired with the minimal 50 HP, it's definitely better than 53, and I definitely feel its speed, attack, and special defense are all adequate. So moving on to the ability, I was initially toying around with ideas like Guts or Mold Breaker or just typical fighting type abilities, you know. I couldn't really think of one that I liked on a Mega Hitmonlee, so I made a new ability. And again, it's not really a new ability, it's just a reworked old ability, that being Magic Guard. As I'm sure you know, Magic Guard prevents any external damage not from attacks, including Life Orb Recoil, Burn, Poison, Sandstorm, Hail, any of that. But most importantly, and I made sure to look this up, High Jump Kick Recoil, meaning that if your opponent protects on your High Jump Kick or you just randomly miss, you won't be punished nearly as hard. Granted, if you do miss, it still sucks not getting your attack off and getting hit in return, but with the additional bulk of Mega Hitmonlee, I feel like it's definitely mitigated to the point where I would run High Jump Kick over close combat still. For the name of the ability, I couldn't really think of anything outside of like knee guards or shin guards or some kind of protective knee padding. I don't really know. The main premise being that Hitmonlee's legs are now so strong that it just protects him from any outside damage basically. Onto what moveset I could see Mega Hitmonlee running. As I mentioned, it has a pretty decent move pool, so it has plenty of options. It's hard to go wrong with the standard 4 attack set with High Jump Kick, Knockoff, Poison Jab, Power Up Punch, Fake Out, Rock Slide, Earthquake, Mach Punch, perhaps even Sucker Punch if it doesn't interfere with your other moves. Then of course you got other neat techs like Endure plus Reversal, Pursuit is an option, Rapid Spin is an option, even Close Combat could be an option if you really don't want to miss High Jump Kick, although aside from missing High Jump Kick would be just about better in every way. But that's just about the gist of this Mega Hitmonlee. As you know, I don't really like making megas that could be comparable to already existing Pokemon, and as it stands, this is pretty comparable to Mega Lopunny, but I feel like that's an inevitable comparison to make with any fighting type Pokemon that's strong and fast and has access to High Jump Kick, and I feel like their stats, move pools, and abilities are different enough to warrant making Mega Hitmonlee like this. So that's about all I have to say for Mega Hitmonlee. Now it's time to move on to Hitmonchan. I have never really been a fan of Hitmonchan. Nice little rhyme for you. Hitmonlee was always way cooler to me as a kid. Then as I got older and started getting into competitive, I noticed I liked Hitmonlee's stat distribution much more than Hitmonchan's. It's like just better in attack and speed. It's got the same base 50 HP, base 35 special attack, and base 110 special defense, just having 105 attack, 76 speed, and 79 defense. And I kinda get what they were going for here. They make Hitmonchan the more defensive one out of the two of them, but defensively it's still like pretty bad, especially coped with that base 50 HP. And coming fresh off Hitmonlee, it really doesn't seem like it was worth taking away from speed and attack to boost its defense from a pitiful 50 to a slightly less pitiful 70, you know? Anyway, for Mega Hitmonchan, I had it in mind to go along with a more defensive Mega Hitmonchan, meaning that for stats, I would immediately give it 30 attack, putting it at 135, 9 speed, putting it at 85, 41 defense, putting it at 120, and 20 special defense, putting it at 130. I felt this is a pretty nice, even distribution, makes it nice and well-rounded, its speed being its lowest stat at 85 now. As for the ability, I actually came up with two of them, both are new. The first one being an ability where Hitmonchan would gain the secondary typing of any attack that has punch in the name. So for example, it uses Ice Punch, Hitmonchan would become Ice Fighting type. I was actually pretty set on this ability initially. I thought it was a very nice ability for Mega Hitmonchan, kind of like a pseudo protein going on, giving it nice stab options. I feel like it would be especially helpful with Bullet Punch, as you would gain Steel type, allowing you to hit Fairy types even harder. Then because you would be Steel type now, you would be more resistant to Fairies afterwards. Like I said, I was initially set on this ability until I thought of another one that I kinda like better with the stat distribution I gave this Mega Hitmonchan, that being reminiscent of Gale Wings, where any move you use with punch in the name gets priority. The only difference being that you wouldn't need to be at max health in order to benefit from this, ideally anyway. But then again, with Drain Punch, even if you did go second, you could potentially get back up to full health after a Drain Punch and then go for even more priority punches. So either way, I think getting priority on punch moves would be very nice for this build. A moveset I could recommend for this would be Drain Punch, maybe Power Up Punch. The elemental punches are always nice. Mach and Bullet Punch wouldn't be as necessary because all your other punch moves would have priority anyway, except if the ability doesn't allow priority if you're not at full health, in which case those punch moves could also come in handy. For EVs, I would probably recommend Max Attack, Max HP, Adamant Nature, just as a way to maximize attack and bulk. But 85 speed isn't too bad, so if you want to invest in max speed, that could also be recommended. At the end of the day, I feel like this set has a lot of versatility and viability, so I'm definitely pleased with it. I do like the other ability also. I'm not sure which one I like better. I'm going to go with the priority one, just because I feel it makes more sense with the stats I gave Mega Hitmonchan, but let me know what you think, which of the abilities you prefer, or maybe you don't like either of them. Let me know how you feel about both of these megas in general. If you disagree with the way I would make them, let me know how you would. But that about wraps up this episode on Hitmonlee and Hitmonchan. Eventually, I will get around to completing the trio and make a mega for Hitmontop as well. Like I said, we got 1 week left until Let's Go comes out. I'm just about finished with that list. Got one more thing to go. I think you guys know what's next. Hope you're looking forward to it. Anyway, until then, thank you guys for watching and have a good day.